Prepare to experience yet another stunning story of female strength and tenacity. In today's episode of Triumph Women Beating the Odds, we meet an incredible 25-year-old woman who is fighting malaria head-on with her revolutionary mosquito repellent. My name is Okello Sharon Nagenjwa.
Brought to you by Stanbic Bank Uganda.
We've all witnessed the devastating effects of malaria in our community and the relentless buzzing of mosquitoes in our ears. But in a small village in Kabasanda, Butambala district, Uganda, resides our very own superheroine, Joan. And with her wits and determination, she's on a mission to kiss malaria goodbye with her ingenious invention of mosquito repellents. Like every successful story is a tale of overcoming obstacles. Oh, hi, Joan.
Hi, Sharon.
Thank you for having me at Uganics. It's been a long journey to this place.
I'm glad you arrived. Thank you for coming.
Well, Joan, I'm here for good reason. You're such an inspiration. The mosquito repellents, the lotions, and the soap. Imagine, I would think it's somewhere out of Uganda, and it's right here.
Yes, right
wow.
here.
Who is Joan?
That's a beautiful question. Joan is a social entrepreneur. I advocate for women empowerment, and I'm a social change maker. And that's why I founded Uganics, a social enterprise fighting malaria in Uganda and beyond. And one of the reasons I founded it is because growing up, I grew up from an orphanage not very far from here. And I suffered from malaria a lot as a child.
You suffered from malaria a lot?
A lot as a child, almost every week. So that made me miss school a lot. I was bullied, discriminated from a lot of activities as a child.
Why? Why? Because of malaria?
I was very small, and you know, there's a way when you're a child and you're very sickly, they say you have a low immune system. So they used to call me Oblambwenyanya. In English, it's like life of a tomato. That's
like
very delicate.
Yeah, you're delicate.
Yeah, I was very delicate. So that somehow gave me a traumatic childhood. And when I grew up, after high school, I joined this place. It's called Social Innovation Academy, and it empowers marginalized youths to turn their pain into strength. So it helped me find my inner self. And I created a purpose for myself. I realized that I can turn or fuel my pain growing up in the orphanage without parents, then meeting my parents, and all that, my health, to turn it into strength to change the narrative. So that's why I was able to found Uganics in 2016.
So when was the last show where you said Uganics is beginning?
So I mean, it's been a journey. So in 2015, a friend of mine lost her 5-year-old daughter to malaria. And it was in the same period that I met my childhood friends, and they were making fun of my experience suffering a lot from the disease. And then it was at the same time that I was trying to find myself. So it hit me, and I'm like, ooh, I can change this. Because when you grow up, you get exposed to things. I realized that there are actually other solutions to the disease, just that they were not accessible to the kind of people or the kind of communities that I grew up in. And so then I started asking people in the community, in PG, going to households and asking them about their experiences with malaria, what they're doing about it. And to my shock, 99% of the families I went to didn't even know how they get malaria itself. You know, they distribute mosquito nets, but people still think that they get malaria from drinking unboiled water or unready meat. And then I realized there's no way a person can actually solve a problem when they don't even know the source of the problem. So I started with creating awareness, working with hospitals to create awareness about malaria. and so that people are aware and encourage them, because I realized there are also other reasons why they actually get sickly besides the fact that they don't have the preventive measures. So that's what I started with. And then as I started doing research with institutes in Uganda and outside Uganda on the solutions that we could implement or I could implement to combat the problem.
Okay, so are you a scientist? Because by the time you're mixing chemicals to come up with a mosquito repellent, there's science involved.
Yeah, there's science involved. I ask that question a lot of times. And I don't know if I'm a scientist, but maybe I am. But over the years, I've worked with other people. Like I said, I've worked with the chemistry department in Makerere. I've worked with Mannheim University outside Uganda, that is in Germany, and other universities to develop the mosquito repellent, learning from them and to help with the resources. So yes, there's a lot of science involved, and I didn't know any of this before I started. I just had an idea and inspiration or motivation to do this, and through the research I was able to create a network of people that were able to support me through the journey, and I was able to develop the mosquito repellent that we put into our products. Okay. If that makes me a scientist, then yes.
So Joan, as a woman who is not a scientist, but has worked with scientists and doing all this kind of work, the mosquito repellents, these inventions, I would assume there are some thorns that you've had to pass and step on. What are some of the challenges that you have faced in this journey?
Yeah, of course, building a business and as a woman and someone who didn't have enough knowledge.
Yes.
With what I was going into, I faced a couple of challenges, and yeah, one funny one. I think that was in 2017. I went for this presentation, and there was someone from the ministry on the panel, and they liked my presentation, and I was very excited. I'm like,
as you should be.
Like, I saw my dreams coming true, and I found time, made an appointment, went to their office, and they didn't even remember who I was. And
he didn't remember you?
But that's not the funny part. The funny part is I reintroduced myself, talked about my business, and he asked me how old I was. At that time, I was 19. He asked me why I wasn't in school, and of course I told him I had personal reasons and other financial reasons, and he's like, instead of you coming here and asking me for money for a business that I didn't have a product then, I was just dreaming. You should be asking me for ways to support you to continue and finish school. You're a woman. You need to grow up, stop deceiving yourself, grow up, go study, find a simple job, get married, take care of your husband and children.
Did he offer you sponsorship for this education?
No. He just told me, I'll reach out to you. I'm still waiting.
You're still on the wait?
Yeah, 7 years back, I'm still waiting.
So how did you take it?
So, as a young person, I was really demotivated. I cried myself, and I thought I was lost. And it was really painful at the time. Right now, that's why I told you, right now I find it as funny, because not a lot of kids or young girls would move from there. They would lose hope. So, yeah, the good thing, I had a support system I had a coach, and I had a support system of people to talk to from SINA. So I was able to bring myself back up.
Wow, Joan.
Yeah.
Speaking of not letting bad situations define you, Joan is a true testament. Let's take a break, and when we are back, we will delve deeper into the Uganics of Joan Nalubega. Welcome back from that short break. For those who have just joined us, we're still with Joan Nalobega, the founder of Uganics, an enterprise that produces mosquito repellents. Just like every other successful story, there's always a tale of overcoming obstacles, and those obstacles is what we are delving into right now. So Joan, how do you then push away the obstacles and just move forward with your dream?
So yeah, in the beginning, I told you that, I had a reason why I started this, and that reason still existed.
Yeah.
I started this so that other children don't have to go through what I went through, even up to now.
So other children don't have to suffer
from malaria. Yeah. Even now, there are a lot of children suffering from malaria. So
there's actually a huge drive on malaria currently. I think you've seen the lots of adverts around malaria.
Yes. And recently, in the last couple of months, especially after COVID, the cases went higher even than before we went into COVID, for example. So I still have a reason to do what I do, and that's how I was able to go through that. But also because I had a support system, I had a mentor, I had a coach, and my team also helped me move forward.
Now, Joan, for the benefit of somebody that probably wants to also start a mosquito repellent company, how do you start?
Okay, I'm asked that question a lot of times, and I really don't know how to answer it because I didn't start with anything. I started with just the idea and the passion. And I was at SINA, Social Innovation Academy, and when you're starting, for example, a business, they support you with the first costs, maybe like doing research, going to the community, like transportation, airtime. And through the community, they give you internet. I was able to source out support from different competitions, call for proposals, and I was able to raise around $2,000 from an organization in Germany. That's the money that I started with. And over the years, I've been able to get grant funding from an organization in Nigeria of like $5,000. I've been able to go into a partnership with Johnson & Johnson. Most people know Johnson & Johnson for the lotions, the baby things, but it's a big company. So they were able to support me with funding of around 50,000. I don't know how much that is in UGX, but they were able to support me with that, and also came in and helped more with the product development. So I've been able to source out support. That's what I'm saying. That so if anyone out there wants to start a business, let it be, even if it's not mosquito repellent or malaria, they can be able, like, the support is out there, the resources are out there. You just have to go look for them and know what exactly or how to really get them.
Do not suffer alone, like spread the word.
Exactly. Yeah. Tell the people what you're doing, and people are there ready to support.
Okay. What lessons do you learn from the beginning? Something that you promise yourself you won't repeat again.
Something that I promised I won't repeat again. So because the journey, it's not easy. You face a challenge, and most times the previous challenge or the challenge now is bigger than the previous one. So I used to, I think, maybe feel sorry for myself because I was on a journey of learning and doing. But at some point, I realized that the challenges are not going away. And I realized that every challenge I overcome, I am a better person. I've grown more. I've learned more. So I decided to see challenges and maybe strategies that fail as opportunities for me to learn and my team. So I think that's something, I'll never look at failure or challenges like problems like I used to before.
Okay.
Yeah, right now I see them as opportunities for growth.
Okay. Yeah. So as of course you are aware, money is very important. I want to know where the money is in such an idea.
We have a social business model that we sell this product to, let's say, we work with hotels, we work with resorts, we have distributors in Uganda and outside in the urban area. And we use around 25% of the profit margin on that product to subsidize it for the low-income communities in the villages. Okay. So, for example, the product we sell at 5,000 in Kampala, we sell it at 2,500 in the villages. Like I said in the beginning, I realized that the solutions were there, but they were not targeted for the kind of community that I grew up in. So that's why we have that business model.
Wow, Joan, your story is very inspiring. And I know that there is a woman out there, there is a child out there that is suffering different illnesses, even if it's not just malaria, and you're probably being bullied and you're going through so much. Just to learn from Joan's story, Joan, what is the word that you want to tell that little girl that is facing bullying at school because of probably her weight or whatever illness she is suffering from?
It's okay to feel alone, but it's not, I know it's not fair, but it's fine, and you'll get through it. Whoever is going through that, you'll get through it, because you have a really beautiful life ahead of you. So that should not make you feel like you don't want anything or your life is ending, because you'll get through it. I did get through it. I'm here. You can't even tell I was tiny once.
Well, from surviving malaria as a child and then to growing up and owning Uganics, a company that produces mosquito repellents, Joan is indeed a force to reckon with. This is the true testament that you can turn pain into strength. Now let's speak to an expert to delve deeper into malaria and to find out different opportunities available.
We'd like to congratulate Joan. This is a very exciting success story. It really demonstrates the human spirit of overcoming. Now, fighting malaria is within our hands. It's a household responsibility, and it is possible. Even traditionally, before modern medicine, people knew what to do, whether by use of local things like cow dung to smear the houses, since the dung contains repellents from the plants which the animals eat, they were able to keep mosquitoes away. While out, people were able to light bond or campfires to smoke away mosquitoes when they were out. These efforts, we are very happy Joan has managed to modernize and commercialize so that they can be used in our airlight environment where we cannot light bonfires. But these products, we can use them to protect ourselves, our dear ones, and our families. We'd like to encourage everybody and encourage us to use these products and empower.
And there you have it, folks. Another remarkable woman conquering obstacles and making her mark in the fight against malaria. Remember, it's women like Joan who are shaping our future. Stay tuned for more stories on Triumph every Saturday, same time. Don't forget to continue the discussion on our socials at Girl from Oyam and TriumphWomen UG. Have a blessed night.
Brought to you by Big Bank Uganda.